The international human rights organization Freedom House recognizes Taiwan as a free country with one of the best self-governing democracies in Asia. Democratic values are deeply ingrained in the minds of the Taiwanese people. But have we ever stopped to think about what changes and struggles our ancestors had to endure in order to lead our country to the road of democracy? This old photograph will help to take us back to the past, to look at the determined faces of the Taiwanese and hear their voices, and carefully examine the path that Taiwan has traversed. After Taiwan was retroceded to the nationalist government in 1945, the Taiwan Provincial Administrative Executive Office actively promoted elections, established provincial-level city and county councils, and most importantly, the Taiwan Provincial Legislature. This old building, surrounded by bustling traffic and busy streets, was home to Taiwan's first publicly elected public opinion advisory institution, the Taiwan Provincial Legislature. The Taiwan Provincial Legislature is the forebearer to the Taiwan Provincial Assembly. On April 15, 1946, 1,180 candidates competed for the 30 legislature seats. The competition was extremely intense. The first meeting was called into session on May 1, 1946, with Huang Qiaoqun and Li Wanju as the first ever Speaker and Deputy Speaker, respectively. During his speech at the establishment of the legislature, Speaker Huang stated, "During the 50 years of Japanese rule, the Taiwanese people did not have the right to participate in politics and lived a colonized life. The Taiwan Provincial Legislature has been established by the government in order to bring about democracy. I hope that every senator will fulfill their duties and serve the public, cooperate with government policies, work hard for the good of our fellow citizens, and boldly promote democracy in Taiwan." Huang's moving and inspirational speech also confirmed the legislature's role of giving a voice to the public, as well as the role of senators to integrate all sectors of public opinion, whether in the livelihood, education, economic, or political arenas. In January of 1946, the Taiwan Provincial Administrative Executive Office decreed that ROC citizenship be restored to the people of Taiwan. When some compatriots were unable to return to Taiwan because of political and economic reasons, the provincial legislature urged the government to use ships to help bring them back to Taiwan, warming the hearts of those compatriots. In the area of education, the legislature also proposed that the government revive education and unify the entire province's school textbooks. Regarding the economy, the provincial legislature requested support for private businesses to foster a free economy and pressed Chen Yi, the chief of the Taiwan Provincial Administrative Executive Office and a proponent of state-owned capital, to let the public hold stake in a number of public enterprises and Japanese businesses, such as the Match Company of the Taiwan Tobacco and Wine Public Sales Bureau. In addition, the sugar industry had long been the core of Taiwan's economy. After the retrocession, the government consolidated the Taiwan Sugar Corporation and submitted reports on the sugar industry to the legislature from 1946 to 1948. These reports documented the receipts of the sugar industry, production amounts, finances, and more, and have become an integral material for us to understand the development of Taiwan's sugar industry. The legislature also proposed measures to construct the Fangliao Railroad Line, subsidize self-paying overseas students, adjust the price of sugar, notify the public of their rights and obligations, and more. All of these efforts were made to improve the lives of the Taiwanese people. In 1947, the 228 incident occurred, and several members of the legislature went either missing, were imprisoned, or had warrants for their arrest issued by the police. The legislature called for abolishing the practice of issuing forced confessions in exchange for releasing prisoners, and further petitioned the government on behalf of the imprisoned and sentenced individuals, as well as families and relatives of missing individuals. The legislature recommended that those who had been sentenced already be fully pardoned, and those arrested without cause be released immediately. During the period when the nationalist government fled to Taiwan, the legislature, within its limited sphere of power, did its best to reflect the needs of the people. It proposed legislation which established the New Life Movement Association, reduced land taxes and costs of purchasing materials, lowered TSC land rent collection standards, enacted measures to stabilize the economy, and more. All of this had a far-reaching impact on the lives of the Taiwanese people. These days, the excitement seen during election campaign seasons is also an extension of the legislature's commitment to local self-government. They petitioned the nationalist government to implement county and city elections and also called for the National Assembly to support implementing such elections. In 1950, local self-government became a reality. Up to that point, these officials had been selected by the government, but with publicly elected officials, the concept of democracy was spread to every corner of Taiwan. The Taiwan Provincial Legislature's representation of the people is strong and inspiring. In 1950, the administrative regions were redrawn. Because of the perceived lack of representation in the new regions, the legislature appealed to the government by going on strike, but their efforts ended in failure. The legislature's persistence finally moved the government to set up the Taiwan Provincial Interim Assembly on December 11, 1951. The first Taiwan Provincial Legislature was dissolved, but its spirit lived on and highlighted their raison d'etre to represent the people. During its more than 5 years of existence, the legislature worked hard to sow the seeds of democracy in Taiwan and also laid a solid foundation for the Taiwan Provincial Assembly. As we enjoy all the benefits that a convenient and civilized lifestyle affords, we must trace and carefully examine those first steps taken by our ancestors, which led to our current democratic system.